Death is an idea that's explored a lot in Pixar films. Like, for films targeted at kids, there are some pretty extreme themes and methods of death explored. Arlo's father gets killed, and Spot also reveals that his entire family is dead. Ellie dies. Coral and almost all of her children are brutally murdered by a barracuda. But it gets worse! Syndrome commits genocide on all the supers, and somehow they take it even further, because they literally kill off Riley's imaginary friend Bing Bong.
Take her to the moon for me, okay?
But despite all these deaths, no one's ever really discussed whether there's an afterlife in the Pixar universe. Hello there, how you doing? An afterlife is a pretty common thing to have in a popular franchise of films or books. There's clearly an afterlife in Harry Potter because, well, there are ghosts. And if you were still somehow on the fence about there being an afterlife in Harry Potter, well, Harry basically goes to the afterlife in the Deathly Hallows. I don't know as much about Star Wars, but I also believe there to be an afterlife in Star Wars as well, because the Jedi can come back and speak to the living as Force ghosts. And 2017 looks like it's going to be the year of the afterlife in the Pixar universe. Because the trailer for the new Pixar film Coco was released this week, and if you haven't seen it, I recommend you check it out before you go any further in this video. And death is a pretty prominent theme in the trailer, even for Pixar, who have explored mass murderings and genocide in previous films. This is actually to an extreme. Most of the characters in the trailer are dead, and the film is literally about death. Specifically, it's about the Day of the Dead, or El Dia de los Muertos. Sorry, I tried to do my best impression of Buzz in his Spanish mode there. To be honest, I didn't know much about what the Day of the Dead was. I'm just not that cultured, so yeah, if you don't know much about what it is either, well, we're gonna learn about it together. On October 31st, All Hallows Eve, or the American holiday Halloween, the children make a children's altar to invite the Angelitos, which are the spirits of the dead children, to come back to visit. November 1st is All Saints Day, which is the day where the adult spirits come back to visit. And November 2nd is All Souls Day, where families go decorate the tombs of their deceased relatives. The 3-day fiesta is filled with marigolds, the flowers of the dead, muertos, which is the bread of the dead, sugar skulls, cardboard skeletons, tissue paper decorations, fruit and nuts, incense, and other traditional foods and decorations. People go to cemeteries to be with the departed and build private altars, look familiar, like right here, containing the favourite foods and beverages as well as photos and memorabilia of the departed. The intent is to encourage the visits by the souls, so the souls will hear the prayers and comments of the living directed to them. I'm not even gonna lie, I've literally just read that all off Wikipedia. If you do want a thorough lesson on the Day of the Dead, I'm sure you can find that somewhere on the internet. This just isn't the place. I have no personal experience of child souls coming to visit me on October 31st or adult souls coming to visit me on November 1st. So personally, I don't believe, but then again, I've never practiced this holiday, so what do I know? However, in Coco, the beliefs of the people who celebrate the Day of the Dead are true, and it is made clear on the Day of the dead can travel from the afterlife to these altars. Again, we know very little about Coco, but the altars are shown here, and then there's a bridge here. So presumably this bridge acts as a bridge between the two worlds, confirming 100% that there is an afterlife in the Pixar universe, and it will be explored in Coco. And this is huge, because it means that death isn't necessarily the end in the Pixar universe, and there's potentially a chance that Carl and Ellie will be reunited in the afterlife. This also means that there might be, like, ghosts in the Pixar universe, and there's potentially a god or gods in the Pixar universe, which, despite being some questions that maybe we never asked, we might be getting answers to them now. Because despite the fact there are weddings in churches in Up and The Incredibles, and also a funeral in a church in Up, no particular beliefs are really proclaimed at any points during the films, which is possibly just Pixar trying not to be too controversial. But yeah, also Dante the dog is shown to enter the afterlife, which means that animals can also enter this afterlife, which also means there's a potential chance that Marlin and Coral will be reunited again in the afterlife, and if that doesn't warm your heart, I don't know what will. And I think that's it for now about the afterlife in the Pixar universe, but there is one more thing. Jon Negroni, the amazing author of the Pixar Theory, has had a thing or two to say about this when discussing how Coco fits in the Pixar Theory on his updated Pixar Theory timeline on his website, link in the description, saying that there will be possible hints of how human energy transfers itself in the afterlife. And also on a live stream he made the other day on Facebook, where he was also discussing how Coco fits in the Pixar Theory, he said this.
There are people who believe that the wisps were like their ancestors like guiding them to their fate, and I think that was like a dropped plot point of Brave that isn't as apparent. But the reason I bring that up is because that same sort of concept seems to exist here, only with like, you know, there's like a land of the dead that meant that where these wisps could possibly come from, maybe, and so I'm just sort of wondering, like, is there going to be a connection? Like, could we possibly see wisps in Coco or something kind of similar.
There's a full link to his Facebook video in the description. Highly recommend you watch it. Maybe the wisps from Brave are also another way of the dead showing themselves to the living. Other than that, there isn't that much to say about the afterlife in the Pixar universe. I just felt like it was big news that the afterlife has been confirmed to exist in the Pixar universe now, and that was something I wanted to share with you, and yeah, I just told you everything I know. We will know more about this when Coco comes out, and I'll probably make an updated video of this or something in November, so make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on that video in like 8 months' time. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, check out my other social medias here, watch another video here, and well, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm sorry this video is a day late. I've been sick. I lost my voice yesterday, and if you followed me on Snapchat or Twitter, you'll probably know that. So that means that Saturday's video is going to be on Sunday as well, because I'm just a day behind on everything. I hope that's okay.